Hello to my Southern Hemisphere peeps. This one's for you. Wait, Northern Hemisphere people. Don't leave, it'll be spring here again eventually. I like autumn. I like any time of year when it's not too hot and not too cold. All you need is a light jacket. Around here, fall kind of morphs directly into spring with just a few weeks of slightly chillier weather in between, which is delightful. I also love the leaves changing color, but that doesn't really happen much around here. I'm getting off track. I like autumn. I just don't love autumn in the same way that a lot of my peers seem to really love autumn. So when I got an idea for some garments the other day and then I picked out some fabric to go with the ideas and it was all kind of light and breezy and pastel and floral and springy, I basically went, meh, we're doing it anyway. Autumn be damned. People have been grinding up trees in our neighborhood for the last 3 days. Different houses. Everyone just seems to have agreed that this is the time of year when you chop down a large tree and mulch it. And it has just been constant tree grinding noise. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of garments made with this specific bodice style, you could say. Or actually, it's like 2 different specific bodice styles, but I associate them in my head and kind of consider them a group thing. Either it's a little tiny bit of bodice, I suppose you could say, above the bust, and then everything just hangs down from there. Or it's a slightly bigger strip of bodice that goes over the bust. Usually it seems like there's 2 darts in it like that, and then everything hangs down from there. So technically, 2 different styles, but I don't know, they're both kind of the same in my head because it's just either a really small strip or a slightly bigger strip, and then whatever you attach to that strip, I don't know, it could be anything. I want to make a couple garments with this top bodice style. I might make 3 because 3 is a magic number and I tend to make things in 3s a lot, but I also might make 2 because my third idea is just bah. Number 1 is a dress version using the really small bodice. This should be incredibly simple to make, very easy to wear. It basically just ties on in the back, or I suppose you could tie it on in the front, but it'll get a little risque. Therefore, it's adjustable. Super simple. Yay. Number 2 is a jumpsuit. You know, after making 3 pairs of what I called overalls in the entire video and fully editing the video and everything, I didn't really think of this until I was completely done with it. I was like, wait, are these overalls or jumpsuits? I think they would actually be considered jumpsuits. Too late now! But apparently I'm super into jumpsuits lately. I've got a whole I don't know, kind of interesting design idea for this one. I don't know how well it'll work. But this one will be in the fully over the bust style of bodice. So that's already one of each bodice type. Those are my good ideas. But as a bonus, I was thinking, what about shorts or a romper? I'm drawing it really poorly because I don't care that much. The thing is, I've got this whole issue with rompers on my body shape that I kind of feel like I should be past by now, but I don't think I am. And I couldn't really find a good fabric in my stash for this idea, so don't get emotionally attached. It's probably not happening. Probably just these 2. Ah. This is my possibly for a romper fabric. Again, don't get attached. I love this fabric, I just don't have much of it. So with the stripes of flowers across it, I can't really figure out what to make with it that will utilize it to the best of its qualities. The dress, this beautiful stuff, very light, very breezy, gauzy almost. It's definitely translucent, but I don't feel like it's see-through. So we're just gonna make the lightest and breeziest springy dress ever in October. Jumpsuit, this stuff. I got this at F&M Fabrics. I was immediately attracted to it. It is so beautiful. I have plenty of it here. I think I just got myself many yards of it to be safe because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And I kind of have been like saving it for the perfect thing, but then I don't know what the perfect thing was. So I was like, you know what? This jumpsuit is perfect enough. I think it'll be super cute in this. And again, very light, very breezy. Like this is a delightful fabric, texturally speaking. We're gonna start with the dress though, because that's easier. Always start with the easier one. In fact, theoretically, this should be incredibly easy. Because it's above the bust, there's no shaping or anything required. We just need a strip of fabric. We can do one piece that goes across the front to the sides, and then two back pieces that, you know, taper into ties. And then the rest of the dress, I would of course love for it to be circular because I love circle in general. I don't think I have enough fabric for it to be circular though, and it doesn't have to be. It'll be light and breezy regardless. So basically I'm just gonna take the rest of the fabric and make as much of it as possible into the dress. I think it'll end up being panels but gathered a little. And yeah, it just goes over the bust. Like that's the thing, you either need it to be circular or you need it to be like gathered or possibly pleated, because it does have to go over your bust. So if you just put like a flat panel, you would not have room for lay boobs. Yo, the tree mulching is so loud. I'm pretty dang sure you can't hear any of it on this mic, but it is so loud. How many days is this gonna go on? How many trees in this neighborhood are being cut down? We did actually just remove a giant dead tree from our own backyard, but Matt did it while I was gone in New York, Philly, Montreal, that whole trip. So, yay! Anyway. Yeah, no, trust yourself. We never trust ourselves, are you kidding me? So there's my top bodice strips. The only other thing that I need is straps. So we're gonna go ahead and see how I can turn this fabric into the swooshiest dress possible. But one piece for the front, two pieces for the back. What about pockets? Damn it, Patrice. I'm gonna worry about pockets last, because if I need to cut them out of a different fabric, I can do that. They're just gonna be like little side bag pockets, the kind that you really shouldn't put anything in except your hands, because it'll just make the dress go, huh? I think I'm gonna do a crazy thing that I almost never do. Not make it circular. It's such a light fabric that the gathering will be really nice and it'll be really floaty. And not everything has to be circular. So if I fold this in half right now, it's still longer than I would need it to be. So I can go ahead and take pockets off of the end, and then I will literally just cut the rest of the fabric in half across it this way and cut one of those pieces in half. Oh, it's so easy. You gotta love that. The only thing is I don't really want to take my straps out of here now, because if I cut those on the bias, like there's no fabric saving way to do that. That's cutting diagonally into this fabric, and I don't love that. So I might just make the straps out of ribbon or bias tape or something that matches rather than out of this fabric itself. So that is theoretically it. Let's go see if it works. Or if I am delusional. Nah, it'll work. It'll totally work. I have some green bias tape that perfectly matches the green leaves in this fabric, but not very much of it. Like, maybe it'll be just enough? Hopefully. If not, I also have some trim that doesn't really match the flower color, but passes. Sewing the top part together is very simple in concept, a little bit persnickety in execution, just making sure it all lined up correctly with the straps on the right way and all that jazz. The bias tape was kinda too short, but then I figured I'd use the tiny bit of elastic on the end of the straps trick that I did on my patchwork overalls a while back. Cause that slight amount of ease makes them feel a lot better, even if you don't need to take them off over the shoulders, you know? And that pretty much made them long enough. So after much ironing, we have this contraption. Not gonna lie, it looks a little weird. This looks so weird right now. I'm okay with this fit. I think it'll be fine. So now I just have to get my pockets onto the front half of the dress. And y'all, I used to do this method of French seamed bag pockets all the time. I had a go-to video tutorial that I followed, and now it's been ages. So I am digging way back in my memory for this info. Actually, I just dug way back through YouTube until I finally found the video. I'll put it in the description if anyone needs a French seam pocket tutorial. Oh yes. Hi, puppy. Hello. That's some very good drumming. Once I had the pockets in and the 3 pieces turned into a giant tube, I just needed to gather up the entire top. Lots of long stitches, lots of slow gathering. It's nice. I enjoy gathering stuff. That gets pinned into the bodice contraption thing, spread out neatly and sewn down, and then top stitched after checking to make sure it's okay. Okay, should I test this? I feel like I should test it. Testing it seems wise. Okay, cool. I've just got to hem it, which I might do as like, a high-low. I can't decide if I want it high-low or not. It could be cute, and I think I'll be able to cut enough off the bottom, because it is longer than I need it to be, to maybe make like a little sash or belt to put with it, just for a different look. But yeah, first one, done-ish, about to be done. Good morning. I don't know why I unfolded this and left it unfolded all night long, as though wrinkles are of no concern to me. Oh well. So the dress was super easy. The jumpsuit will not be so. The jumpsuit's gonna be a little bit harder. Especially because I realized last night, as I lay awake in bed thinking about this, that my plan for closure was not actually a great one. I was gonna just like hook and eye the back of this together and then leave kind of a gap just like I did with the dress so that it's a big enough hole to step into, which would be fine if it was a dress. Cause like it's kind of an awkward place in your back to have to do up any sort of closure, but like it's fine if you're doing it at the start of the day and then you're all good. But this is a jumpsuit, which means I'd have to undo and redo that every time I had to pee, which is not really ideal for me. So I'm now thinking that I should do some sort of elasticated back to this so that I can just easily pull it on and off like this one. So for now, I'm going to ignore the rest of the jumpsuit because I have enough fabric here that I don't have to like freak out about fitting everything on. I'm just gonna see if I can cut out the bodice and the straps, get that fully constructed, and then the jumpsuit would just be added onto it and like top stitched down the normal way anyway. Very hand movement-y today. My hands have a lot to say. But I do think that first I'm gonna do like the slightest mock-up. Ooh, literally just of this front piece. Logic in my head says that the 2 darts in this direction kind of front bodice piece should be like a bow tie shape. I'll put it up here, a bow tie shape. And then you just put darts in the sides and that goes shwink and makes it into a rectangle with volume. So it's just about figuring out the measurements of that for the volume my booblies need. Let me get some scrap fabric. Let me drink some coffee. It's always a bit interesting to wake up in the morning and go straight into patterning out a new thing. My brain is like, what? I just woke up. What's happening? Okay, no, that's too hot. How sad. Where'd my mock-up sheet go? Why did I put you on the bottom? My sheet. 7? Let's do 7. Yeah, that actually, I think, worked. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Pardon me while I sit in silence for the next 20 minutes. Should I line that with white? I think it's fine. You really can't see through it. So I think that works for the front. For the back, if I'm gonna put elastic in it, it just needs to be bigger by some amount. There's like a 4-inch difference between my hips and my bust. So you really just need an extra 4 inches on the back piece, maybe 5 or 6 to be safe, so you're not like, And then the straps, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Let's do it. I feel like I should iron this first. This fabric is not that wrinkly, but the few wrinkles that it has are like very in here to the point where I'd have to stretch them out while cutting this. So I'm gonna go lightly iron it. Yay. After a light ironing, I cut out 2 front bow tie bodice pieces, 2 back rectangular pieces, and the 4 straps. Okay. I decided to make the front straps longer than the back ones so that the knot would actually fall in the back rather than on top of the shoulders, I think. We'll see how that goes. First comes all the tube creation that always comes with straps. So exciting, wahoo! Then I could sew the darts into the 2 front pieces and attach them across the top with those straps inserted. I could shirr the back piece, but shirring has never really cooperated for me. Even my sister, who is much better with sewing, tried it on my machine and got weird results, so like, meh. I'll figure that out someday, but for now, I'm just gonna sew 4 small channels into the back piece and then string thin elastic through each channel, sewing it down on the 2 ends. So cute! If you don't want to shirr, that's an option. Now back piece gets sewn to front piece and wabam, we have a crop top. Okay, here is where we've landed. Very cute crop top. It's actually super cute. I wouldn't mind just like adding a band to the bottom and weaving it as a crop top. But I set out to make a jumpsuit, so we gotta do it. Y'all ever just get the midday sleepiness? I had lunch and now I just want to take a nap. I'm not even a napper, but I just kind of want to like turn off, which is not exactly the brain space you want to be in when you have to pattern something out. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go use up the 3 egg whites that I have in the fridge. And then we'll come back to this and see if I am slightly more awake. Baking montage, let's do it! I made strawberry ice cream the other day, custard based, so egg yolks only, and I hate wasting food, so I always save the egg whites and usually end up making meringue of some sort with them. Super easy, I just do 1/4 cup of sugar for each egg white, or less if you don't want it so sugary. I only did 1/2 cup total this time. And then you can add a little smidge of cream of tartar, a pinch of salt if you please. You can do a bit of vanilla in there if you want more flavor. I said that kind of out of order. Don't add the sugar or vanilla until you've beaten it to at least soft peaks. And then you keep beating until you can turn the bowl upside down and nothing falls out. I'm going to spoon a few plain vanilla heaps onto the cookie sheet first, and then I'll just sift in some cocoa powder and fold that in with the few chocolate chips that I have on hand. Oops, that was kind of too much. Some of the vanilla is going back in. And that'll be what we called chocolate clouds when we were kids, a cookie my mom made every single Christmas. Everyone has different opinions on how long and what temperature to bake meringue on. I'm not kidding, so many different opinions. And I haven't done a full and proper experimentation on that subject yet, so I just switch it up every time and go with it. I'm gonna try like 45 minutes to an hour on 225 this time, and then I always turn off the oven, crack it open, and let them cool slowly. That actually helped so much. Probably less the cookie baking and more the playlist of music that I was listening to. I've been meaning for so long to make myself a playlist of like just pop music and I guess a little bit of alternative music, but from the specific time of like halfway through high school to the end of college for me. Cause like growing up, we never listened to popular music. Mostly we weren't allowed to. And so I kind of just had that as like a habit and I didn't really start specifically doing that in college. I listened to a lot of musicals because I love musicals and I stand by that. But I think you just heard them like on the radio back then because we actually listened to the radio in ye olden days. And then, you know, you would just hear them with other friends and stuff. So there's all this music that I didn't realize I really like just kind of for the nostalgia of it. It's been so fun to re-listen to a lot of this music because I don't really think about it, but I like can't help singing along. And it's like I didn't I didn't choose to listen to this back in the day, but it is still so nostalgic and still so there for me. So it's been a fun playlist. It gets me jazzed. It's a lot happier music than most of the other music I listen to because I am, for some reason, heavy on ballads. Me and a sad song. I don't know, y'all. We're attached at the hip. Let's make a jumpsuit, shall we? We need pants to go with this crop top. So my design plan here is that I want pockets to start from under the bust. So I want there to be a piece of fabric right here, and then the pockets are literally gonna be that entire thing behind it. Is this making sense? I don't know, hopefully I can draw it in a way that makes sense. And then the back piece of the jumpsuit just needs to be as big as this thing stretched out so that I can also get it up over my booty. I think I should cut out my back legs first because those are a little simpler. I did not, in fact, iron all of this fabric. I only ironed the small part of it that I was going to use. I probably just should have gone ahead and ironed all of it, but I didn't wanna. I mean, this is pretty persnickety. I feel like this is close enough. All right, here starts a lot of pinning and staring into space. So I'm gonna turn my jams back on. We got this, kids. It's Friday, I'm in love. I got the key. This is gonna be. Yeah. Make me your Aphrodite. Arms away, you'll be Naomi, wow. Faster than my bullet. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. There we go. The pockets went in just like normal slant pockets on a pair of pants, just with a much bigger opening. I've got my super long pockets, like that. Now I just gotta put the 4 pant legs together, French seaming the whole way, of course. Yeah. That's about it. Once I had the front pieces connected and the back pieces connected, I French seamed the outer side of the pant legs and then did a bit of crotch readjustment, which involved some sewing in my underwear because I'm far too lazy to keep changing clothes back and forth. We've all been there. Alrighty, this is where we've landed. I just need to gather the back so all of this gets attached, and then basically sew the whole thing on and hem it. I feel like I wish the pant legs were wider, but I think that's only because I'm so used to all of my pant legs being ridiculously wide. They're probably fine. But I have a slight urge to be like, insert a gusset, make them fuller. Not gonna do it, we're gonna stick with it. And I am definitely not making the third piece, as I predicted. I don't really have an idea for it. It's really just the 2 of these. Let's take a look at the final products. Look at your little fluff. Oh, that's a big one. These turned out pretty well, I think. Definitely feel that it was a worthwhile use of my Love It So Much fabric. And I do still have like 1.5 yards plus scraps left of it. I probably have enough left to make a full-on romper or something, but I could also just make like a cute little crop top, because honestly, this was adorable before even adding on the pants to it. If I had put just like an elastic band around the bottom, would have been really cute. Critiques, because I always have critiques. The purple one, am I gonna have to cover up your face to put pictures on here? Everybody's gonna be like, why are you covering his face? He's so precious. I should just cover up my own face so that he can still be in the frame. The purple one does come off a little bit like Moo nightgown vibes, just a smidge. That being said, it is very light, very breezy, incredibly comfortable to wear. I think it would be delightful on a hot day outside. And adding the little sash to it, like, you know, it puts a waist on there if I feel the need for a waist, but honestly, I kind of prefer it loose because it's just so like, so much breeziness. This one, I really like the concept of this style of bust, especially because I do love an empire waist thing. My waist is already super high anyway, so, you know, might as well go all the way to empire waist. And this like bow tie shaped pattern piece is really easy to create for your own measurements. I really like the pockets. I think this is a great way to put pockets on a jumpsuit. I don't know, I thought it was cute to have like the big drapey openings to them, and I stand by that, it is cute. And the elasticated back, great option if you don't want to do shirring. That totally worked. This whole thing is really easy to get on and off. It fits over my hips perfectly. The straps, I had Matt kind of tie them where I liked them on the back, and now I don't have to undo them, but I could undo them. That's my thing with everything, is like, this could be adjustable, or this is adjustable. I'm just probably not gonna have to adjust it much because it's only me wearing it, but I could adjust it. And the delightful thing about living in Southern California is that despite it being fall, according to the calendar, it's nice and warm outside today, so we're gonna go to the farmer's market and I can just leave this on and I will look very farmer's market-y and be very comfortable. I hope you are having a very pleasant autumn or spring, because again, Southern Hemisphere people, I remember you. Oh, comfies. That was such a big sigh. I gotta go. We gotta do about 30 minutes of cuddling now. Ooh! Bye. $39. How many layers am I wearing? I forget what my design is for this. Woody doody doo, blah blah blee, doing 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 daddy doo dee ba lip doopy doody. I need to stop sighing into this mic. That's probably loud. Nope, calm down. I put you on pause. Why is there a tomato on the table?